Okay, so uh, have you ever had one of those days, or maybe, even weeks, where your head just feels completely stuck up in the clouds maybe, and all you really crave is just to somehow, well, just come down. Today, we're going to be digging into exactly that feeling. We're doing a deep dive using the really raw, super honest lyrics of the song Clouds. That's by NLIGHT, featuring CADENMAC. And yeah, our source material today is the transcript of the song itself, the whole thing. And it gives this incredibly unique window into someone who's really grappling with some profound stress. You get this sense of stagnation too, and this really personal, kind of vulnerable search for meaning through it all.
hmm And what's so interesting, I think, is that we're not just, looking at song lyrics here. It's not just music analysis. We're peeling back the layers on a deeply personal story and narrative. So our mission today really is to unpack that core emotional journey you hear in the words. We'll explore the struggle, sure, but also the artist's specific ways of coping. And then you find these little, almost surprising glimmers of hope, of self-discovery. What can we actually learn, when we really listen closely to someone being this vulnerable?
Okay, right. Let's get into that opening then, because it hits you straight away, sets this really visceral tone. It kicks off with this plea, right? Dear God, help, because I don't know how much more of this I can take. And then that line comes back. Head still stuck in the clouds. Just want to come down. What's the immediate feeling that paints for you? What's that landscape?
Oh, it's just immediate, isn't it? An unfiltered cry for relief right at the gate. But if you connect that to the bigger picture in the lyrics, it really highlights this profound sense of being trapped. And not just physically, but mentally, too. The artist mentions being coop up in my room and wish that I could get some light, even though I never take the time to open up my blinds.
Yeah, that line.
Right. So it's not just about the situation outside. It points to something internal, like an internal barrier, a self-imposed kind of isolation that just makes that feeling of being stuck even worse. It's almost like self-sabotage, where the answer, opening the blinds, it's right there, but something deeper is stopping them, some malaise.
And it's not vague stress either. They get really specific about how it feels, how it impacts them. There's that line, the stress is getting hard because when I wake up, I feel like I'm never getting far.
Yeah.
That feeling of it never getting far, like running in place. What does that really signify here in this internal battle?
Well, it speaks volumes about how insidious stagnation can feel, especially when, self-doubt creeps in.
Yeah.
That sensation of waking up and feeling like you're already behind, or that anything you do is just futile. Like that other line, I hate to lie, I know I'm right, but I feel like I can't see past the sky. That's such a classic sign of maybe imposter syndrome or just a really deep fight against what feels like failure. It kind of suggests that even if things are technically moving forward on the outside, internally, the artist feels completely trapped in this loop. It's like this profound mental exhaustion that hits before the day's even properly begun.
Wow. Okay, so given all that, this almost suffocating stress, this internal conflict, the big question is, where do they turn? How do they even start to find an outlet? How do you cope with that kind of intense emotional weight?
Yeah, and that brings us to a really key point, which is the artist's specific coping mechanism. It's right there in the lyrics. They state it so clearly. The only way to kill it is through writing music.
Right, not just a hobby.
No, exactly. It's framed as essential, like an act of survival. It's like this alchemical process, maybe, taking all that internal chaos and transforming it, transmuting it into something structured, expression. That act of creation, giving form to something that feels formless, that's psychologically really powerful. It's a way to regain some control when you feel like you're, quote, drowning in stress.
Yeah.
It's catharsis, definitely, but it also feels like a really deliberate act of self-therapy.
Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating for me, though, because despite all this struggle, this deep pain, there's this amazing defiance that comes through, a real sense of agency. The artist says, I will never give up even though I lost a lot. And then that incredibly powerful line, I call myself in light because I don't want to walk in darkness. What's the significance of that active choice, that self-definition?
It's huge, isn't it? It's not just passive hope. It's active. It's deliberate. It's claiming an identity, claiming agency. When you feel stuck in the clouds, completely lost, to then declare, I call myself in light. Wow. That's a profound act of self-determination.
Yeah.
And this resilience, it's connected to this search for deeper meaning that totally redefines what success even looks like. They explicitly say, this map, the hope is blank. Yeah, I'm searching for lifelines, so I ignore the bank.
Ignoring the bank.
Right. And crucially, I don't look for the fame. I'm just looking for joy to find.
Joy to find.
This isn't just about feeling happy. It's about finding intrinsic value, In a world that's obsessed with external validation, with scorecards, it feels like a profound act of rebellion.
That distinction really jumps out. Joy to find instead of fame. And the spiritual side is so woven in too, isn't it? Throughout the lyrics, the artist looks up at the stars, asks, "Our Father, why would he let me have all these scars?" And then later, "God, would you make me brand new? I don't want to run from you anymore." What does that plea tell us? That desire for renewal, for reconciliation, what does that signify in their journey?
Well, it definitely signifies a deep spiritual longing, not just for relief from the pain, but for real transformation, yearning to be brand new, wanting to not run from you anymore. That points to wanting to shed past burdens, right? And reconnecting with a sense of purpose, maybe divine guidance. There's that other part. I just want to find peace. Would you please make me hope too that everything will be all right, Lord? I'm a cling to you, Jesus.
Cling to you. Yeah.
It shows this profound reliance on faith. Like, it's the primary source of strength and hope when everything else feels like it's crumbling.
Yeah.
That connection to a higher power seems absolutely crucial. A lifeline when they feel so adrift, so overwhelmed internally.
And mixed into this really personal story, there's also that very poignant sense of loss. The artist says, "I have it all, but I can't seem to find that love again." It's clearly not about material stuff lacking. It's deeper, almost existential, that void.
Yeah.
How does that feeling, that misplaced love or something profound missing, how does that connect back to the bigger struggle and the search for light?
Oh, that's a really critical insight, I think, because it seems like it's precisely from that void, from acknowledging that deep internal loss, not stuff, but emotional, spiritual loss, that the artist then pivots to actively seeking and defining their own light. That declaration, "I call myself in light because I don't want to walk in darkness," it doesn't feel like just a wish anymore. It feels like a really powerful statement of intent. And it feels like it's born directly from experiencing that absence, that loss. So the search for joy to find, it becomes a direct answer to the love that seems lost. It's like redefining what fulfillment actually means for them.
Right. So we've kind of walked through the raw vulnerability, the struggle with feeling stuck, the power music has for them, and this incredible resilience, this seeking of internal light, of joy over fame. Ultimately, was the big takeaway from this deep dive into their journey. They clearly refused to give up, right?
Yeah.
Despite losing a lot. And their goal isn't fame. It's something much more internal, profound.
Exactly. I think the central paradox, maybe, of the song is how the artist, even while feeling so intensely stuck in the clouds, drowning in stress, they actively seek out and define their own light. That statement, "I call myself in light because I don't want to walk in darkness," it becomes more than just coping. It's like a guiding principle.
A way forward.
Yeah, a way forward. It's a real testament, I think, to the idea that even when you feel completely adrift, that power to define your own truth, your own direction, it stays with you. It's internal.
And that really does bring it back to the universal experience, doesn't it? This whole idea of finding an outlet for emotional pain, the only way to kill it is through writing music for them. And that deep desire for peace, for love, for renewal, make me brand new, find that love again. It underlines that refusal to give up, even after loss, and that unique focus on finding joy, not chasing fame.
Which leads to maybe a final thought for you, the listener. If feeling stuck in the clouds is something many of us experience, what does it mean for you? What does it mean for you to come down, or maybe to find your own form of light when you feel lost, especially without looking for that external validation like fame that the artist here explicitly rejects? What does your light look like?